Oh my god! Perfect! Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. All right. Whoops. Okay, we are live now with our Tangerabbits. Speaking of Tangerabbit, we are with Chanisha and we have our little Tangerabbits and we're going to ask some fun questions about her really fun role as Tangerabbit, the most perfect voice ever for this peppy little bunny. So true. Let me get questions. Thank you everybody who's tuning in either now or later. Really appreciate it. And yeah, welcome to Tanisha. Uh, we're going to do, oh, hi, Michael Jackson. Oh, and Ari Animate says hi. Hi, everyone. Hi. Hi, Jinx. Thank you, everybody, for coming by and watching this fun interview. Um, I guess we'll jump right in. We have a lot of really fun questions from the Patreon Discord, and then we'll go ahead and take questions next from the YouTube comment section. So yeah, let's uh let's get started. The We'll start with the Patreon questions first. The first question is, what or who inspired you to be a voice actress? Mhm, mhm. Oh, oh, wait 1 second. Somebody's saying they can't hear you. That's I don't know. No, maybe let me try to turn on the desktop audio. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me try desktop audio. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm so sorry about this, y'all. Let me turn on this. Can you hear her now?
Hello, 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 hello.
Hopefully this is working.
Any sound? Did it work?
Let's see. Everybody in the comments, can you hear Shanisha? Or is it
Hi,
still for some reason not working?
hi, hello, hi. Can you hear me? I'm not sure.
I'm not
I can't
sure.
tell.
Nobody's commenting, confirming
Oh
that they can.
no!
What?
Can you bring up? Maybe you should bring up the stream
Okay. Oh,
to see if we
yes.
can. Oh,
Everybody
okay,
can hear. Yeah, wonderful.
okay,
Okay.
good. Let me start that again.
Yeah. So, what or who inspired you to be a voice actress?
Yeah, so like as a kid, there was all sorts of cartoons and video games that I grew up with, and I'd always like fantasized about voice acting might be pretty fun. I don't know if that's something that I could do. Like it always just felt quite unattainable to me. So I just went into a traditional career, so just been doing that. And then like just lately I was thinking maybe I should just see what it takes to get into it.
Mhm.
So I think a big forcing function was the pandemic. I started looking into it then, but I think another big influence for me was Brianna White, who
Mhm.
is the voice actor of Aerith in FF7 Remake. So I think those kind of things coincided at roughly the same time.
Mhm.
And, I'd watch her videos like playing through her FF7 Remake. She talks about being a voice actor and everything. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll look into this.
Mhm.
So that's when I actually started looking at it for real. So it wasn't too long ago, but yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome that you got like inspiration even like
Mm.
before you even realize, wow, this is something I can like do for a living, you know?
Uh-huh.
That's really awesome.
Yes, not living for now, but there's been many voice actors over the years, like Tara Strong, Greta Lyle, Jennifer Hale,
Mm-hmm.
all these very big voice actors that I've looked up to, but
Mm-hmm.
it just always felt like I can't be an actor. That's not what I should do.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just talk yourself out of it. Uh, but yeah, no, I'm glad that I'm starting it now. Better late
Mm-hmm.
than never, I guess.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's no timeline or like deadline
Yeah.
for when you should start, chasing your
Mhm.
dreams and doing what you want to do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, definitely no age limit on that.
Mhm.
um, Next question. What are your thoughts on your character Tangerabbit? Um, and what did you feel about her backstory and her personality and just everything about her?
Oh, I love her so much. Like, oh, this is my first like character plushie too. And she's beautiful. I love her design, her personality. I think when you did the casting call,
Hmm.
hers was the one that like I probably gravitated towards the
Hmm.
most cuz I think what I found is that the characters that are really like hyper and energetic and I've been a performer my whole life as well, so like her love of singing and performing and being like really a big ball of energy is like my favorite thing about her. And I love that she's she's better at party planning than I could ever be. So it's like I'm just living through her. Oh, I love her so much.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, even your peppy voice for her is like so energetic and so perfect. I just yeah, when I heard everybody's audition was of course incredible,
Hmm.
everybody's
Hmm.
so hard to choose for sure, but your voice was just so peppy and so hyper and high strung and it was just amazing. It was exactly what I wanted for Tangent Rabbit.
Yes.
She's definitely like inspired by like the peppy villagers from Animal Crossing, if you ever played it. Very inspired
Hmm.
by like that kind of personality. But
Hmm.
yeah, let's see. Next question. What are your thoughts on the series so far, and what work would you like to experience? Oh wait, what are your thoughts on the series so far, and what um this question is a little weirdly worded. Let me give me a
Yeah, yeah,
sec.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry. um.
I can answer that first part if you want,
Oh,
or
sure. I think it's just kind of like a runoff of maybe the first question.
oh, okay,
Just what are
okay.
your thoughts on the series so far?
Y'all aren't ready. I have to tell you, because the scripts are so cute. Like I can't, I could not handle it when I was, I was reading through them, and it's just such a fun show. Like it just like this is something that I would like because I have like a little niece who's maybe 3 years old right now,
Mhm.
and as soon as the show's done, I'm like, I need to put this in front of her. This is so cute and wholesome, and it's just it's I can't like it's beautiful and it's so funny too, and like the writing is so good. I cannot wait to see how everything animated. It's gonna be so good, y'all.
Yeah, I'm so excited too. The script writer was actually, I gave the script writer the
Mhm.
synopsises for what I wanted for each episode, but actually the credit for the scripts goes to Jennifer Rust, who does also
Ooh.
Sunflower Studio, and they're working on their own like indie animation as well. But
Ah, nice.
yeah, so she did the scripts and she just
Hmm.
did such she knocked it out of the ballpark. It's exactly what I wanted. Like, so I have a feeling everybody who I gave the scripts to for reading the lines had a lot of fun with that. They're really silly, and I was just laughing even reading them myself for the first
Yeah,
time.
all the scenarios are so good. They're so like inventive and it's great. So you get some credit too. I loved all of that and all the little character interactions. Ah, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I want it to be like for suitable for kids and any ages,
Hmm.
but I also
Hmm.
want it to be like funny for everybody, like funny to
Yeah.
anybody, any age.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Next question. This one's interesting. After working with the series so far, did you identify with Tangerabbit, like you had things in common, or the opposite, or did you identify with another character of the series?
Ooh, I think there are various moments that um I did like start identifying with some of the other characters. I
Mhm.
think a lot of uh like there's some parts about Tangerabbit that I think it's like a heightened version of me,
Mhm.
but then there are other parts that I'm not that aren't quite like me, and I don't want to get into too many details because I don't want to spoil anything that happens in the show. But I think another character that jumped out at me was Honey Bun. It was those moment with her and 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 Lolly too, and Pip, and oh, actually, yeah, there's like little moments from each of them that I can also see myself in some of them.
Mhm.
But I think for the most part, like Tangerabbit is the most like me. But yeah.
Well, that's perfect then that you're a Tanger
Mhm.
Rabbit,
Yeah.
definitely.
Mhm.
She's definitely very hyper.
It's like a cooler version of me.
Oh, you're so cool. And so does Tanger Rabbit think so too. She's like, you're cool.
Y'all.
um, okay, this one's also a good question. When you work on a character, how do you work on the type of voice you're going to give, the tone for that character? Like, how do you know, manufacture the voice you're going to use?
Mhm. Yeah, so a lot of the time it's based on like a few key words. Like
Mm,
actually I kind of select the characters that I audition for based on things that I think I can do well, like, hyperactive
mm,
energetic characters, something I think I can do pretty well, or like a
mm,
youthful voice, or um something like that. And I think that kind of suits my natural voice a
mm,
bit. Uh, so at least for Tangerabbit, I just saw the description of like wanting to be a pop star. I'm like, all right, I know this kind of character, what kind of voice she should be. So you have like a couple of like archetypes, I think, that I have, because I haven't been doing this for too long. I don't have a
mm,
lot of them yet, and it's like narrow, but like I know the kinds of characters that I think I can do well.
mm.
So those are the kinds of roles that I only really go for those kinds of roles.
Yeah.
um yeah. But like, yeah, so it's just my version of what is like that attribute, like the attribute that they're looking for basically, is
Mm.
what I do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Um, oh, we're getting somebody typing in a question right at this moment.
Oh,
Nice.
I like it.
While we're waiting for this person to type their comment, I also have a question. I wanted to ask, is it
Hmm.
hard, like, doing a different accent than your own natural accent?
Yeah, that's a good question. So for those who don't know, I grew up in New Zealand, and so that's the accent that y'all are hearing.
Mm,
But I've been living in the US for it's almost been 10 years now, so it's been a long time. And because I like talk to like hear American accents all the time, like just
mm,
general American accents. Like my partner's American as well.
mm,
I think I can, and also I've noticed changes in my own accent,
mm,
just it just happens naturally.
mm,
So because of that, and like doing a bunch of practice, I think my general American accent is is somewhat like I think I'm more comfortable doing a general American accent than I am doing Australian, which is it's just closer to what a New Zealand accent is. So you'd think
mm,
it'd be easier, but I just haven't had as much out loud practice with it. And I haven't like, I'm not around Australians a lot.
mm,
And there is differences between Australians and New Zealand's, right?
mm,
So like, I am more comfortable with doing the more Americanized accent than I am with like any others, really.
mm,
So I think it's just because I've lived here for so long that
mm,
it comes to me a little easier.
mm,
But but yeah, no, like I kind of sometimes I only do one or the other accent, or I offer two reads in different accents.
mm.
But I think for Tangerabbit, it just felt right to give her the Valley Girl kind of
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah, she would definitely have that Valley Girl voice.
Hmm.
That's exactly what I was imagining for her. She's so like preppy and stuff, so it's
Mm.
definitely very perfect.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's all. That's really interesting that like you're more comfortable with an American accent than an Australian accent.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I could probably get there if I had practice and if I was like talking to actual like native Australians
Hmm.
because there is a lot of overlap. But
Yeah.
I like it's I wouldn't feel comfortable auditioning with an Australian accent, for
Mhm.
example. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you need sorry. You'd need more practice first.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um as I asked that question, we got some other questions from the Patreon Discord, which
Mhm.
is fun. Let's see. This is so if you could have a dinner party with any three people, living or dead, who would you invite? You can change your answer as many times as you want, so no pressure. That's interesting.
You know, that question gets asked a lot,
Does it
and
really?
you I mean, not to me personally, but
Yeah.
I mean like to just in general to
Hmm.
people, right? And you'd think I would have thought about this, but I did not.
I did not
Um
think that was a question that was common. That's interesting.
I mean, it's like one of those. It's like it's a very generic question that
Mhm.
I think comes up a lot. Like because everyone has very different answers because there's so many people, especially living or dead. It can be anybody. So
Yeah.
that 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 to me gives me like decision paralysis because there's too many people. But
um,
if I were to think, oh man, like if I could like understand Japanese and speak Japanese. I think I'd want to have a like one of the guests would be Nobuo Uematsu. He's composer for Final Fantasy music, and I adore Final Fantasy as a game series, and all the music and the music is a big part of the reason why. Um, let's see, probably some big time famous voice actors like Jennifer Hale. She seems really cool
mhm.
and that would be that'd be really cool. Um, who else? Man, that's really hard. Maybe right now it'd be Greta Gerwig because I just saw the Barbie movie
Uh,
and I loved it. So that's a very like of the moment answer right now, but man, there's too many people. I can't possibly decide. I
yeah.
if you ask me the same question, I'll probably have the different answer in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, the person who asked said at the end you can change your answer as many times as you want. So it must know that that's the question. It's like, oh, well, actually, no, I want this person, this person.
Yeah. Like and I'll find who answered that question. I'll be like I'll message them like tomorrow and be like actually my answer's changed. Nah, yeah, but yeah, so lots of different people.
Mhm.
But I guess you can find out a lot about people, I guess, depending on what their answers are. So
Yeah.
I hope that was informative.
I'm sure that they love that answer. It's a very interesting bunch of people. But yeah. From different medias and things like that.
Yeah.
um the same person also whoops. Oh,
Hmm.
I didn't do anything. Okay, I thought I messed something up with the stream, but I didn't. Thank goodness.
Hmm.
Okay, next question from the same person also asked. I was going to ask you if ah, do you think you would get along with Tangerabbit if she were real?
Yes. Absolutely. I think like her and I share a lot of love for like singing and performing and just
Hmm.
like extra stuff, but I also love that she's more proactive than I am.
Hmm.
So if we're like I want a party, she'll go and plan it and I'll just kick back and I'll be like I'll enjoy the party, but I can't plan. So I think we'd get along. She's yeah. I think we get along pretty
Yeah.
easily.
Like she does things that you yourself wouldn't do, but it was good
Mhm.
that she would step up to the plate and do them. And your
Mhm. And
personality, and her
yeah.
personality also meshes very well with yours as well.
Yeah, we'd the karaoke we would have, it would be so good. So
Yeah.
much fun.
For sure. She would definitely go to karaoke. That's probably like where she goes outside of the arcade.
Every Tuesday.
Exactly. Um, I think that was the last question from the Discord for the Patreon members.
Hmm.
So I guess now we will take questions from the YouTube comments. So if you're watching, feel free to send in a question about the series regarding Tangerabbit or just voice acting questions in general for Chanisha. And I
Hmm.
guess we will wait for a second while those come in.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask
Hmm.
something and now I forget what it was.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
How's the series coming?
Very good. It's going very good. Right now, we're just like collecting the rest of the lines from people because some
Hmm.
people haven't submitted their
Hmm.
voice readings yet. I mean, their line readings. So yeah,
Yeah.
once those come in, then we'll do the storyboarding process.
Mhm.
Clean up the audio even more and stuff like that. We are in the pretty beginning stages still because I can't
Mm.
animate without all of the voice lines, of
Yeah.
course. So we're right now I'm just waiting on that. I think those should probably be done probably the end of the year, and then starting next year, like I can just start doing the art for it ASAP, just getting the
All
ideas out for the
right.
animation, which I'm really excited about. I love animating. It's so relaxing.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The couple that we've seen already from what you put together for the with the Straw Bunny audio and the Tangerabbit audio. Ah, I this is gonna be so good.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I have so many like ideas for some of the scenes, like how they will play out. I'm just so excited for everything. But yeah, just right now we're just waiting on the all the voice lines.
Makes
Uh,
sense.
and it looks like we actually got some questions already. Let's see. Oh, this one's interesting. Coffee Jinx asks if you could sing any song with Tangerabbit, which one would you guys sing together?
Oh, I should have had this picked out, but that's a good question. Oh man, it'd be like a cool duet where we can do harmonies
Hmm.
because that's just so fun.
Hmm.
Um, let's see. Oh God. Oh man, I'm trying to. Why is it so hard? The first song that came to my head was "We Built This City." It's like this '80s song, like Starship. I think that's who they're called. But like, we built this city on rock and roll.
Oh, yes, I've heard that song before.
Just because I just like that's the first like the song was on SingStar '80s. Like
Hmm.
if y'all know what SingStar is,
I
come.
don't.
Um, Oh God, I'm so old. All right, so basically on PlayStation 2, they
Hmm.
had this mic controller that you can plug into your PlayStation,
Hmm.
and so it was basically like a karaoke game.
Oh.
So they had SingStar, like, and they had SingStar '80s, SingStar '90s,
Hmm.
SingStar, like all these different genres. And
Hmm.
so there's this one called SingStar '80s, and for some reason, I'm not that familiar with '80s music, but we saw this at like a con in New Zealand one time and we're like, we have to play this. And so, even though we didn't really know the songs, and so we built this city was one of them, and that's the first one I've seen that where they actually had like harmony lines
Hmm.
for the different you know the different voice parts. So that's like the first song that jumped into my head. But there's probably a lot sparklier, like energetic duets that we could do. But
Yeah.
man, I have to think about that one now. There's gotta be better examples.
That's a good one too. I mean, it sounds from what you're singing from very energetic as well. I can see
Mhm,
her
mhm.
like head banging to it, like
Yeah,
woo.
rocking out.
Yeah. She loves like pretty much all music you can dance to.
Mhm.
So if you can dance to it, Tanger Rabbit will like it.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Ari Animates has a question, and the question is, what's a piece of advice you can give someone who wants to do voice acting but who is self-conscious about their voice?
Oh, that yeah. It takes a while to get used to your own voice.
Hmm.
I think like but I guess the thing is to remember is that there is a place in voice acting for everyone's voices
Hmm.
because no one else sounds like you, and that means you bring something unique to the table. The I guess the only thing is that it can take a lot of practice to like to read things, and you have to like get used to like speaking out loud, because we don't usually do that a lot,
Mhm.
right? Especially like reading things, just reading things out loud.
Mhm.
But it does take a bit to overcome. But at the same time, like it's usually um it's not your like it's more about the performance than it is about just your voice.
Mhm.
So uh if you don't think your voice is interesting enough, it is. Just remember that.
Mhm.
And I think now it's easier than ever to get started in voice acting.
Mhm.
Like the internet has really democratized a lot of it, so there's plenty of resources online about people giving tutorials and like low budget setups to to get started with,
Mhm.
and maybe some fan projects or indie projects to get your feet wet.
Mhm.
And the voice acting community is so supportive, so like they're so willing to share just any information. So
Mhm.
it's a very welcoming, supportive space.
Mhm.
So if it's something that you want to do, and it's not easy because just it takes a lot of effort to keep like doing it consistently, but
Mhm.
like the persistence really will pay off if this is something that you love.
Mhm.
And there is a place for you there. That's yeah, that's probably the best thing to
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, that makes sense because like there's a probably a role out there for every type of voice pretty much,
Mhm.
that even
Mhm.
if you think your voice sounds weird, even though it probably doesn't, but there's a role, it's probably somebody looking for a
Mhm.
voice that sounds like yours somewhere out there. It's just a matter of finding the right like audition and right person, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah, and there's so many different genres too. Like
Mm,
when we think of voice acting, we think of just, animation and video games and
mm,
anime even. But, there's commercials, there's phone recordings, there's like e-learning, audiobooks,
mhm,
um, and there's just so many different styles of VA, of voiceover, that like your voice will fit somewhere.
mm,
So, or like, I mean, you could probably do all of them too.
mm.
It's just a style to get like to practice. And um but yeah, yeah, but you can do it. If you want to do it, you can do it.
Aw, that's very good advice for who Ari.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's very good advice. Very sweet too.
Hmm.
I guess we'll wait for more questions. And in the meantime, I will think of a question that I was going to ask, and I totally forgot what it was. I hate when that happens.
Oh, that happens to me so often.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times I'm like, I was gonna say something, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. Exactly. Um,
And I think it's gonna come back to me later, but it never does until like maybe a week later. I'm like, oh, that was a thing.
yeah, like a week later at like 3 o'clock in the morning, it's like, oh no, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yep, yep.
um, I think I remember what I was gonna ask, actually. It just popped into
Oh,
my
good.
head. Which character of Very Happy do you think you would like get along with the best? Like, I know you said that you would get along well
Mhm,
with Tangerabbit,
mhm,
Rabbit, but is there a character you think you
mhm.
would get along with better than Tangerabbit? Rabbit?
Ooh. Oh, they're all so lovely, honestly. I can't think of I think, well, Pip is like Tangerabbit's past partner in crime.
Yeah.
So probably them, but also like uh oh, there's Cubby and there's Honey Bun and Straw Bunny too. I don't know. They're all so lovely, honestly. I think I don't know who I'd get along better with,
Mhm.
because I mean they're all great. Sounds like a bit of a cop out answer, but it's just
No.
yeah, they're all I don't I like I can just find something like I can eat with Cubby, or like or this honey bun. And
Mhm.
oh yeah, no, I think everyone
Yeah.
it's so good.
I understand, like, everybody has
Hmm.
different traits that you do
Hmm.
different things with. I
Hmm.
get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Straw Bunny's goofiness though. Like,
He is really silly.
yeah.
I
So
always
I do
like
vibe with him.
yeah, I always think that like like Strawbunny and Cubby are kind of similar, except for one thing. I think Cubby has more common sense than Strawbunny. Strawbunny just kind of like laid back, go with the flow, and Cubby thinks more about things than Strawbunny does.
I kind of respect that though. I love it.
Head empty, no thoughts.
Yeah.
That is Strawbunny. I hate to say
Yeah.
it, but it's so true. Um,
Yeah.
Ari in the comments, who's the one who asked the question
Mhm.
about the voice acting advice, said, "Thank you
Mhm.
for the advice. It made my day." That's very sweet.
Oh. Oh, I'm glad I could help. If you need any resources, I recommend starting with the Voice Acting Club Discord server. Uh, you should be able to find it on the link online, but
Mhm,
very welcoming and great place to start. Also, Kira Buckland, who's going to be coming on here in a couple a couple interviews from now.
mhm,
I think she's the one who's like one of the main admins of that Discord, and she's a big proponent of helping newer voice actors get started and everything. So
mhm.
that should be a good interview to tune into.
Oh yeah, definitely. It seems like she's like very supportive of like other
Mhm.
voice actors' journeys, and I think that's really cool.
Oh yeah, and
Mhm,
she's a pretty like well established actor and
mhm.
voice actor herself, and that blew my mind when I knew I was cast in this. And then I started seeing all your casting announcements, and I'm like, these are all real voice actors. What? And I'm like, here, this is like the first like actual animation gig that I've ever gotten.
Mhm.
So and then just seeing like all these like really established talent in this show too, I'm like, oh god, I gotta get good.
No, but you already are good. That's why you gotta spot. You still deserve all of this. So you're such an amazing
Yeah.
voice actress yourself. Even though
No.
you haven't found, you just started this journey.
Mhm.
So even though you just
Mhm.
started this journey, I'm so proud of how much you've already done. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Um, let's see if we have any other questions. If anybody has a question in the YouTube comments, feel free to ask, and I will pass along the message.
Mhm.
um, while we're waiting, I will ask a question that's not related to anything.
Oh
What is
yeah,
your
go for
favorite
it.
color?
Ooh, so it's changed over the years. Like when I was a kid, red was my favorite,
Mhm,
but I think now it's purple. Yeah, purple and yellow are like my kind of branding colors, but I don't really use them. But like anyway, like so I think purple. It's purple now, like a lavenderish purple.
mhm.
Yeah,
That's a
that's a
good
good color.
color. Yeah. um, someone asked, if I may ask, is Tangerabbit fluent in Goblin?
Goblin. I
Um,
know who this is.
you do? You knew they were gonna ask that?
Mad Raids. Is this you? Okay. Now I have to explain, right?
Okay.
Okay. So no, we were playing Final Fantasy 16, and I've
Mhm.
been streaming that, and the goblins in Final Fantasy 16 all sound like literally just like that. And so I just started doing it, and then they're like, I can't tell what's you and what's the goblin. So yes, Tangerabbit is fluent in goblin.
Definitely. She'd probably like whip it out like some random time, and everybody's like, "You know how to speak that?"
Handy skill to have, I guess. If there's ever goblins coming to the Very Happy Village, you know who to call.
Exactly. That's a good one. Um, Michael Jackson asks who your favorite rapper is.
My favorite rapper. It's interesting. Um, huh. Man, I have to think about that. Well, I was obsessed with Hamilton for a very long time.
Mhm.
Um, so we all like our Lin-Manuel Miranda. Lyrical genius. What a lyrical nerd is who he is. Like the Hamilton is the nerdiest musical I've like ever.
Mhm.
If yeah. Rapper. Who else do I like? I don't know. Man, that's hard to think of anything on the spot.
Is there any like rapper that you're listening to today? Like just like
Ah,
recently?
like so I'm like boring in that I listen to music that I listened to as a kid.
Hmm.
So it's a lot of like really old but I've been on a nostalgia kick lately
Hmm.
on like stuff from New Zealand. But
Oh.
there's a band from New Zealand back in like the early 2000s called Nesian Mystic. I've been
Hmm.
listening to their music again lately.
Hmm.
Um and yeah, I don't know, like just and or just in anything really. Um that's not a very satisfying answer. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Michael Jackson says that they are pretty much boring too.
Oh, no,
No.
you're not. No,
No.
you're not. I don't know. I don't believe that.
Same. I don't believe that either.
Hmm.
um, there's another question. Oh, you're gonna like this question. What is your favorite Final Fantasy game?
Oh, Final Fantasy X is my favorite.
Mhm.
I have this theory that like the first Final Fantasy that you play
Mhm.
is going to be the one that's closest to your heart.
Mhm.
And for me, that was Final Fantasy X. So it was like, yeah, it was the first video game that I played where I was like, oh, games can have really like in-depth stories and characters,
Mhm.
and it's not just like fluff. So I adore Final Fantasy X and the music, and I think it started me on the journey to be the gamer and the person that I am today.
Mhm.
So Final Fantasy X, favorite Final Fantasy. Um,
Nice.
yeah.
um, that makes me have a question. Do you play Final Fantasy 14?
I do. But I haven't played in a bit.
Mhm.
Just cuz like I moved house, and so I canceled my subscription for a bit. And I
Mhm.
haven't gone back into it just because this year has been crazy with games coming out. Like I've been stuck in Zelda land for a while, and
Mhm.
and now I'm in Final Fantasy 16 land.
Mhm.
And so I do want to come like after like playing through FF16 makes me want to come back to FF14 though, because
Mhm.
it's also made by Creative Business Unit 3.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'm still like I think I'm maybe halfway through Shadowbringers.
Okay.
But I'm just very slowly making my way through the MSQ. I'm not really doing much else than that. I don't even play very often per week when I did play. So
Mhm.
I'm like, there's just too much content in 14. I'm just gonna focus on just the MSQ.
Yeah, there's so
But
much content.
it's too much. The Dawn Trails teaser just got released, right? Like
Yeah.
from FanFest. It looks like
Yeah.
everybody's just going on a vacation now.
Yeah. It looks very interesting.
You play
Hmm.
too?
I'm a little obsessed with Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, I have Summoner main.
Summon a maid! I play Summon too!
Oh, awesome! It's just
Yeah, Summoner and Dragoon are my two mains.
oh, that's awesome. Summoner is just so much fun. I love like just taking out all the uh
Mm.
gods or whatever. I don't know what they're
Yeah,
the
the primals.
primals. Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I would just like take them out of my spell book and like go do my bidding, go attack these
Yeah,
people. Like they're like Pokemon a little bit.
yeah.
They remind me so much of that. Like Titan,
Mm.
I choose you.
So actually, I think Final Fantasy 16's battle system is
Mhm.
basically melee summoner. So
Really?
you like switch different like summon abilities, and it gives you different abilities depending on which summon it is.
Hmm.
And so it's just I think it's just melee summoner.
That is awesome. uh, let's see if we have another question. Um, whatever questions come through now, probably be our last questions because I think we went a little bit over the half an hour
Mhm.
mark that I promised. But
That's
if
all good.
anybody, sorry
This
about
is
that.
fun.
Um, just take a couple last questions and we'll probably bid farewell. Okay, let's see. Michael Jackson asks, any old school songs you like?
Old school. All right,
Mhm,
all right. So this is actually really a fun thing for me because
mhm,
like the music that I grew up with in New Zealand is a little different to what you grew up in the US. Like obviously American music I think just went global,
mhm,
but also in New Zealand we get music from the UK,
mhm,
and we also have like New Zealand artists as well.
mhm,
So there are some things that I thought like it was a bit of a culture shock actually when I came to the US
mhm,
and I went to a karaoke with some of my the singing group that I sing with, and I'm like, oh yeah, this will be a crowd pleaser, and then I put it on and no one knows what it is, and so the old school songs that I
mhm,
like S Club 7 is a UK pop group back in
mhm,
like the early 2000s. They were my
mhm,
jam. Spice Girls were my jam.
mhm,
Yeah, and there's some New Zealand singer songwriters that I like that have been good too.
mhm,
Beckeronga is a good one too. But for like I guess more well known songs, let's
mhm,
see. Uh was got your boy bands, got your NSYNC and your Backstreet Boys.
mhm.
um Britney Spears, oh god, I was so into her
Mhm.
as a kid. Uh so you can probably sense a theme. This is all just like very bubblegum poppy, um, very like just pop music
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
But you got your singer songwriters in there too that I like as
mhm,
well. So yeah, that I
yeah.
don't know if that was a good answer either, but
I think that goes into the next question from Jinx that said, "Do you have a preferred genre of music that you enjoy?" I guess it would be pop.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Usually pop. Anything that's catchy, like anything that's catchy that I can dance to is good.
Hmm.
Um, just anything with a good melody is probably what I like. But I think it generally is pop music, dance beats, um, and yeah, anything with good lyrics, like interesting lyrics.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
I'm pretty bad with like catching up with what's hip with the kids now. So it's just whatever I hear on the radio, and I think the general theme of what I like would be like poppy dance beats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of like Tangerabbit.
exactly.
um, Looks like I got a question possibly for me actually this time. Do you have any
Ooh.
suggestions for people making a series? Probably they said they don't know where to start. I would
Mhm.
say the very first place to start is definitely like coming up with an idea. Like I know this sounds probably obvious maybe, but
Mhm.
coming up with like a clear idea of who like the characters will be, like the storyline, what it will be about, the premise of it, the environment, all of that kind of like works as a framework for what you're going to build with your series. So I would definitely like think a lot about what it's going to be like if you have any inspirations, um, just the general like storyline if there is any, even if it's just like, you know, in my example, cute
Mhm.
animals in a village going through their daily lives. Like, you know, you should probably start with like an idea of what
Mhm.
you like a specific idea of what you want. But yeah, I always wanted to make a
Mhm.
series of my own original
Mhm.
characters, so
Mhm.
I already knew what I wanted to do. Like as soon as I started making my own characters like this, I was like, I know exactly what I want to do with them, and just I wanted to make animations of them, and I just put out the feelers for voice actors. I figured that was a good place to
Mhm.
start after the framework of it, and here we are.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's been a ride. I um I love doing like animation. I'm not like I don't have like a huge background in it, but I find it really enjoyable, and I feel like I've taught myself like a lot of the basics of it where I could get this done for sure. Um, yeah, that's pretty much where you should start, in my opinion, is just like the framework of what you want to make it about. Also, like keep in mind a budget, of course,
Mhm.
things like that. Like keep it, you know, what you can do, like what you can afford, and all that. But yeah, that's what I would think. Also, sorry, this is a long answer. Also,
Mhm.
just putting it out there, advertising it, getting some hype about it. is also a really good idea because you might want to make a Indiegogo or some sort of like crowdfunding on Kickstarter in the future, and it's definitely like helpful to get the word out and get people attached to the characters. That's just what that's what I think about where you should probably start with that. But good luck on that. It's going to be amazing, and I'm really excited to see what you come up with. That's really
Hmm.
exciting. um, do we have any other questions? I will keep it rolling for, I guess, 1 minute waiting for more questions. If anybody has any. Uh, if anybody does, we'll take one more question. I think that will be a minute long of
Sounds
answering.
good.
Let's see. Any other questions? And thank you everybody so far for the questions that you did send in. They're all really interesting and
Yeah.
very good
Yeah.
questions.
Got me. I'm gonna be up awake at night trying to figure out who else I'd want to have a dinner party with.
Now, nobody even asked me that. I'm gonna be thinking about it too. Who would I want to have dinner with? Nobody asked me, but
It'll come
um,
up again, so you gotta have your answer ready.
the next time we'll be asked again for the next interview. Um, all right, here's our last question. What is your mental process before getting into character?
So, a lot of it is reading the brief,
Mm,
just looking at the different adjectives and seeing which character archetype I'm gonna get into. But
mm,
and so sometimes I'd like replay my audition to like remember what the voice was and what the
mm,
character feels like. Um, but then for it's the script really guides me when it
mm,
comes to getting into character. Like I just read through the script and just like read everything out loud
mm,
and then try to feel out what the appropriate like emotion would be in this moment
mm,
for the given lines.
mm,
But yeah, a lot of it is just trying to remember like when I feel the voice, then it's like okay, the energy's here.
mm,
um so for Tangerabbit, it's like all right, I gotta be like turn this up to 11.
mm,
Just and then I just let the script kind of inform me. This it's kind of like it's probably a basic process because I don't have anything too in depth right now. I
mm,
just I just let it let let myself feel things,
mm.
which is yeah. I'm sorry, it's not much better than that. But yeah, like the audition and the script guides me really.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense. It probably just like almost comes naturally when
Hmm.
you read the context of the
Hmm.
lines. Yeah.
Oh yeah, context is so important. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, I think that should be the last question then. We did go over a little bit the 30 minutes that I promised. I'm sorry about that.
It's all good. This
Um,
is fun.
yeah. Thank you everybody for joining, and thank you of course to Tanisha for joining us tonight for the Q&A. I really appreciate you coming on and like
No.
answering everybody's questions.
Hmm. Yes. No, no, it was so much fun. Thank you for having me on. And
Oh,
this is really exciting for me.
oh,
And yeah, I'm keen to see the rest of this voice acting interview series.
awesome. Well, thank you everyone, and thank you Tanisha. We'll we'll let you guys go.
Yeah.
Thank you
Hmm.
so much for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Waving goodbye.
Bye.